The following program is sponsored by the Building Wisconsin Television Network.
Welcome to Building Wisconsin. I'm Stuart Keith, and on today's show, well, we're learning more about a new operating engineer's pre-apprenticeship program being offered to high school students throughout our state. So let's get started with Terry McGowan from the Wisconsin Operating Engineers. Well, Terry, here we are again at the magnificent training facility here in central Wisconsin for the Operating Engineers 139. I love visiting it, and I had a chance to walk around today, talk to some of the guys. Their enthusiasm is second to none, and there seems to be a lot of activity going on. It's always bigger and better every time I'm here.
We have to improve, Stu, because we have to meet the needs of the industry. Anybody who's been around any metro part of the city knows that there's a lot of tower cranes poking up here and there, which is always a good barometer for work. Unfortunately, we ran out of tower crane operators, so we met the need. We bought a tower crane, we purchased it last summer, we erected it late in the fall, and now we are training tower crane operators to meet the needs of the industry.
And look at the size of that. That's a fully operational tower crane, so an apprentice or even experienced professional operators can come out here and work on that?
If they want to add that to their basic data sheet, Stu, they have the opportunity to go up there and learn how to run a tower crane that is an exact same tower crane that you would see flying over the city right now.
Wow, and you know, I've had the opportunity to come up here several times on the show. We featured it, but for the viewers who don't know about this hidden gem here, let's just step back and tell them what goes on here at this training facility.
Well, Stu, as you know, we train apprentices and we train journey workers that want to improve their skills, that want to build upon what they already know, or to diversify a little bit so that they're more employable. A lot of people don't realize construction unions don't have seniority in their contracts. So we have to rely on our skill and ability in order to maintain good, fruitful employment.
Sure, and this is all fully funded by the members themselves, this ongoing training and education.
This is 100% paid for by the members of the Operating Engineers Local 139. There is no tax dollars, there's no grants. This is all our guys and gals.
Sure, and not only is it 400 acres, but how's that new indoor training facility working?
Well, Stu, that's our crowning jewel, as you know. I mean, our members are able to go in on a cold morning. They're able to start up their equipment, lubricate, inspect, and drive out of there with a warm machine so that they can begin their training day.
How can you not want to become an operating engineer if you're a young adult looking for a career? To me, it's second to none. You get to work with your hands, you get to help build stronger communities, and you get to see the fruits of your labor. And what I'm excited to introduce on today's show is the new pre-apprenticeship program that you guys are an integral part of.
It is the first of its kind in the country. We want to see other construction trades get involved in this program. It's called the Destinations Career Academy. And what we've done is we've found a way to bring our construction trade into the high schools. For years, the trades have been trying to figure out how to reach high school students. The days of going on the farm and getting your help, those days are long gone. We have to start finding young high school students that are interested in the trades, that aren't afraid to work with their hands, to work out the elements. Let's face it, the schools today do not have the shop classes that they did when I was a young man. They don't have shop, metal, woodworking, welding, automotive. Those are all gone. Most schools can't even afford that anymore. But now we bring heavy equipment operations in a virtual reality setting. These students can actually study on the screen of their computers heavy equipment operations.
And this is open to any high school student at any public school in the state of Wisconsin.
Throughout the state of Wisconsin. And a lot of guidance counselors and a lot of teachers are encouraged about this because it's a nice break from the daily grind of sitting and reading out of a textbook. Teachers like that because I remember when I got out of shop class, I always felt refreshed. I always felt like, okay, now I can hit the books again. So now these students get a little bit of a break from the grind, and then they go back into the school, and their mind is ready to learn again.
And is it fair to say if they take this online elective, it gives them a leg up in the industry? So if they opt to follow the career path of getting into the trades, in this case, they want to become an operating engineer, it really helps them out?
Absolutely. That's why we call it a pre-apprenticeship. Because what it does, it exposes what students have: mechanical aptitude, hand-eye coordination, things like that. I mean, we are actually identifying students that would be good in the trades. And that would go the same with the carpenters, the ironworkers, the laborers, the electricians.
Anybody in the trades, and what a great profession to get in. And let's face it, you can make a good, honest wage, a good living, and raise a family and be very successful in life. For instance, let's say that I go through it and I'm 25 years old. What can I expect to be making?
Well, first off, you're without student loan debt. You can come out and expect to make $50,000 plus.
Wow.
Right off the bat. That's your first year, okay? So when your friends are coming out of college, you may very well have your first home.
Wow, that is awesome. It's exciting. And what I'm really excited about today's show is we're going to learn more about this pre-apprenticeship program. And it starts right here in Coloma because one of your apprentices has a son who's in the program. And you talk about a generational industry and career. It's exciting. So I'm going to go catch up with Mike now to find out more about his experience.
Good people. You'll like them.
Well, Mike, I was just talking to Terry and telling him how excited I am to visit this training facility here. Every time we come up here, there's always so much activity, all new equipment. What's it like being trained here and continuing your education?
It's incredible. There's so many different things I can train on, and the level of training is incredible. Everybody that's training me is an expert in their field, so I'm learning from the best.
Sure. And what year in the apprenticeship program are you?
I just finished up my second year.
Okay, and what's your area of expertise that you want to go into?
Through my employer, I work on the asphalt side of things, but I do get into the dirt work somewhat, so I want to be proficient at that, so I can work on both sides, rough grading, finish grading, and then the asphalt side of it.
Sure, and when you come to this magnificent training facility, you get a chance to work on all different types of machinery, right?
Yeah, here we got several different models, different sizes. Some of them have smart electronics on them. There's just so much to them, and they're always advancing, so you almost have to train to keep up with it.
And as much fun as it is to learn on pieces of equipment like this, there's also a lot of classroom as well, right?
Yeah, I just did basic grade, which is introductory, and that is almost all classroom. There's no field work really. We go out for about half a day and just apply the things we've learned and then take it back to the classroom, dissect it, and make sure we have memory cognition of it.
Sure. Well, along the lines of classrooms, when somebody hears the term classroom, you think about schools. And that's what's exciting as well, is that you're an apprentice here at this school, but you have a high school son who's following your footsteps and taking advantage of the new pre-apprenticeship program to become an operating engineer, right?
Yeah, my son Taylor is a junior in high school, and he got enrolled into the pre-apprenticeship program. So he's learning the classroom stuff that we're already doing, and it's kind of funny. He's 2 years behind me. What I took beginning of last year, he's taken already.
He's really getting a leg up on a career choice if he opts to follow the career choice, right? How's it been going so far for him?
He's excited. He doesn't miss any of his classes. He schedules time to make sure it's open to be there for him, and I haven't had to remind him. He's excited to do this. So I think what really pulls him in is the broad field that he can go into. I mean, it could be excavator, it could be a scraper, it could be a crane. The field is just wide open for him.
Sure, and from a parent standpoint, without this pre-apprenticeship program, is it fair to say he wouldn't have been exposed to these opportunities without this online elective course?
I don't think he would have had the knowledge of it. It's relatively a new program, so I don't think the word's really out there completely yet.
And being a new program, how was the response from the Montello School District where he goes to school when you first approached him?
They weren't completely aware of everything, so it was new to them too. But once we got together and they found out more information about it, they were really excited to to join in.
Sure, and it's great to know a school district, especially a rural school district who doesn't have the wherewithal to offer some of these courses, are really open to it, and it seems like they're really embracing it.
Yeah, they're excited. They want to see how far they can carry just this particular program with other students.
And just from a parent standpoint, it seems to me you're very proud to say your son's following your footsteps, at least initially getting the opportunity to explore.
Yeah, and my dad was an operator in the 50s and 60s. Now I'm doing it, so it's kind of a tradition almost. But I didn't put any pressure on Taylor to make this decision. Once the information became available to him, he went with it himself. And for me, it's exciting because I love what I do. So he's following that, and I'm sure he's going to have enjoyment. Then he's going to be at this school, so he's going to be trained on how to do it properly and safely. So it takes a little worry out of a parent knowing that he's going to learn something and to do it safely.
Sure, and what I've learned and some of the response from around the state is one of the exciting aspects of becoming an operating engineer and going through a program like this is you get to live locally and you can work throughout our state, yet you get to keep where your family roots are if you want to do that.
Yep, there's work going on everywhere, so you don't necessarily have to travel, but you can if you want, and you can explore a new part of the state every season, every month, whatever the job requires.
Well, I tell you, a program like this, it's exciting for us to hear about it, and I can tell it's exciting from a parent standpoint, and once the young adults get a chance to see what's involved in an industry like this, it's a great career choice. I appreciate you coming on and sharing your experience with us.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
With nearly 2,700 signatory contractors, Operating Engineers Local 139 is growing, thriving, and providing a skilled workforce for Wisconsin's future. If you're considering a career operating heavy equipment, Local 139 offers in-seat training and the opportunity to earn as you learn when you start your apprenticeship. Our training site in Coloma, Wisconsin consists of nearly 400 acres of rolling kettle moraine hills, where our members have access to current and late model equipment with guidance from our experienced instructors. Skill improvement classes are conducted in the field and in the classroom to help our operators diversify themselves and to hone the skills they have already acquired. And with 6,000 hours of on-the-job training for the entry-level operator, you can be among the highest-paid skilled members of the construction industry. So if you want to be part of a well-trained, safe, and proficient workforce, become a member of Operating Engineers Local 139 and help build Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Building Wisconsin. I'm Stuart Keith, and so far in today's show, we've been learning more about the new Operating Engineers Pre Apprenticeship program being offered to high school students throughout our state. Now let's continue with Dr. Lynn Brown from the Montello School District. Well, Lynn, I really appreciate you coming on Building Wisconsin today. And before we get into our conversation, I just want to start by learning more about Montello Public Schools.
Okay, well, we're very Montello proud, about an hour north of Madison, 736 kids, pre-K through 12, and we're 177 square miles. So geographically, we're really a big school district, but our population is very rural.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of Wisconsin. We have the big metropolitan areas of Madison, Milwaukee, Green Bay, but we have so many rural school districts, and it's got to be challenging as a superintendent being in charge of the district and educating our future.
Absolutely. So we have some uniquenesses here in the Montello School District. I mean, just to showcase, we are K-12 1-to-1. We offer computer science, kindergarten through 6th grade, so our kids are actually coding from kindergarten on. And next year, the board just approved, we're going to take it all the way up through grade 12 to give our kids some industry certifications. And our Agri-science is really strong. Last year we had a national FFA winner on the stage, Eric Coddington, one of only 4 in 4 different categories. So
and that's nationally speaking from
nationally
rural
speaking.
Montello.
From rural
national
Montello,
champion.
yes.
Oh, that is so cool. And people think of a rural school district. I mean, what could they possibly be teaching there? Well, you're just showcased. You're teaching an awful lot, but you can't do it all. And on today's show, we're focusing in on new course options for high school students in our state. And one of which is the Pre Apprenticeship program on becoming an operating engineer. And one of your students is actually taking it. And my question to you is, how challenging is it for you to offer a range of courses, especially when we're talking about career training here?
Right. The state of Wisconsin, our kids need to be college and career ready. And so with academic and career planning, we're using the Career Cruising platform. But the main thing is to give them experiences and exposures before they get out of high school so they can kind of funnel into what they want to do, at least for the next several years or the next decade, to give them a taste. Unlike when I was in school, I didn't have any idea until I got out of high school. So course options is just one way we can do that. So kids can take up to 2 courses anywhere. So kids could come to us for our agri-science department. They could come to us for technology. Our music department, we won a couple of Tommy Awards last year. That's throughout the state. So kids could come to us and we can send our kids elsewhere for up to 2 classes with course options. So it's really a neat benefit because ultimately we want kids to stay in Wisconsin, and most kids that live in rural Wisconsin want to stay here. They love the community, they love the lifestyle, and we want to give them opportunities to have the same experiences in school as big districts, but yet they can come back and live in their rural hometown.
Wow, that's awesome. So it seems to me all this collaboration really between all the entities that are putting on these course options, whether it's school districts or interest groups out there that want to help educate the youth and expose them to all these opportunities, they ultimately are going to make our rural communities stronger, more vibrant by keeping the young adults here working and giving them the opportunities to find a career.
Exactly, and I think it's not only the rural communities, but I think our state's going to benefit statewide because even the big districts can't offer everything. So if we have something that's really unique that a student in a bigger district might want to take advantage of, we offer that.
In your opinion, it sounds like that's the future of education, is utilizing all the new technologies, being able to offer online course options. And ultimately, if we work together, look at it not just Montello schools or a big city school district,
Right.
We're all one big, giant, collaborating school district. Ultimately, the state of Wisconsin is going to benefit.
Making Wisconsin strong, Wisconsin proud. So I'm really proud to be a part of this.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thanks for letting us come up to Montello. And right now I want to head inside and learn more about this course option that Taylor's taking.
It's been my pleasure.
Well, Laura and Taylor, it's exciting to have you guys on the show as we're learning more about the exciting new course options being offered to high school students throughout Wisconsin. And Taylor, you're taking one of these on the Pre-Apprenticeship program to become an operating engineer. So I want to get some of your experiences so far with the program. But before we do that, Laura, let's get into the nuts and bolts of the program itself.
The Operating Engineers Pre-Apprenticeship program is a really unique opportunity for Wisconsin high school students to prepare for their career path as an operating engineer while still in high school.
And it's fully online, right?
It is. Destinations Career Academy is an online school so that Taylor can stay here as a student at Montello High School taking many of his courses and then enroll just in the coursework for the pre-apprenticeship program through the online format with Destinations Career Academy.
So it really is an elective. So when our children in high school, if they're talking about what electives to take, this is an option for them to consider, and they don't have to leave the school. They can still take all their core courses, and this is just an elective course to really get a, would you say, a leg up on a career path that they might eventually follow?
Yes, that is very true, a leg up. So each district makes their own decision on how they would award credit. For some schools, it could be an elective credit. For some schools, it could be career and technical education credit. And for some courses, like the Math for the Trades that we have coming up, that could actually be fulfilling a math credit. So the important thing is that he's not only earning credit at the high school level at the technical college level, but fulfilling the requirements for courses that he would need to complete as an apprentice.
Okay, so he's getting high school credits, and you said technical college credits.
Yes.
So, boy, if I'm a parent out there, that's actually saving me some dollars if my child actually goes to a technical college. I've already completed some of the coursework, and if you've already completed it, that's coursework you don't have to pay for.
Right, there's a financial advantage for parents as well as for students. The premise of apprenticeship is that it's a combination of classroom education and work experience. He has the possibility of completing 4 of the courses required of apprentices while still in high school. That's putting him at the top of the line when it comes to apprentices as they're moving into, their career.
Really? And so we're talking at Coloma or at the Tech College in the Fox Valley. I mean, when he comes out of high school, he's already ahead of the game of somebody who, say, is in their mid-20s or 30s and is just now opting for a career. He's already ahead of it.
Yes, the apprentices that would start at the same time as him will have to be taking those 4 courses in order to catch up with him. So he'll be able to put more time into his work hours, and the more hours you put in, the sooner your first raise. So it's a great way for him to start his career path early and really move on the road to making good money as an operating engineer.
Yeah, it's a great career choice. Taylor, how has your experience been? Are you happy to be in this program?
Yeah, it's been very good to learn. It gets you a basic jump start on what you need to know. Very good at getting the knowledge that you need to have.
Wow, you're so mature for your age. It's wonderful to see a young adult excited about a career choice when they're still in high school. What led you down this path?
Well, I've always had a love for heavy equipment. Even with my old town when I was young, I loved it. It just always worked out.
So how did you decide to get it? I mean, was there an impetus here that all of a sudden a light went off in your head?
Well, I went to the Coloma school during the summer, and just being around there, I felt comfortable around the equipment. It really felt comfortable being there. That just lit the fire in my heart, knowing that this is what I want to do.
Wow, that is awesome to hear. So what about the program itself, some of these courses that you're taking now? I mean, do you get to actually interact with a teacher through your computer?
You get to interact with a good instructor. It's really good to know that they have their knowledge in the career that you want. It just really shows that they want to be there to help you succeed.
Sure. Now, do you have to be a pretty disciplined student to make it work? I mean, after all, this isn't like traditional coursework in that you're sitting listening to an instructor. This is online.
Yeah, you have to be a little disciplined. You need to know that you have to be on the computer at a certain time, but they have a very flexible schedule with it. You can go on and do work if you want to get caught up, or if you want to actually go ahead of the class. They give you that opportunity.
Wow, so if you're a student who likes to be ahead of the curve, you have the opportunity to work ahead. And do you have to take tests and quizzes along the way?
Yeah, you have to take a few, but doing that, it actually helps a lot.
That's awesome. Now, how many different courses will he be taking to complete the pre-apprenticeship program?
So right now, with Destinations Career Academy being new, we are rolling out 1 new course each semester. So having kicked off our program in the fall of 2016, we have the exploration course available and now the basic equipment. Coming up for fall of 2017, we'll have the basic grade that's combined with a construction math class, which is exciting because having that applied math could also count for high school math credit. All in all, there will be a total of 4 courses that are offered through Destinations that are aligned with the apprenticeship through Fox Valley Technical College. So it's a great way to get a jump start on his career and complete those courses while in high school.
What is your advice to other high school students around the state? Would you recommend taking this course?
I absolutely would. This course has helped me from having a little knowledge to expanding my horizon extremely on how much I want to know.
Wow, well, that's awesome. Keep up the good work. You're going to make an outstanding operating engineer. Thank you both for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Building Wisconsin. I'm Stuart Keith, and throughout today's show, we've been learning more about the Operating Engineers Pre-Apprenticeship program being offered to high school students throughout our state. Now let's continue with State Superintendent Dr. Tony Evers. Well, Tony, I really appreciate you coming on today's show. And so far, we've been learning more about some new online course options for high school students in Wisconsin, in particular a new Pre Apprenticeship class on how to become an operating engineer. And now we're here at the McFarland High School, and what brings us to this location?
Sure, McFarland High School is the authorizer for the Destinations Career Academy, which part of it is around the operating engineers pre-apprenticeship program. So they're the ones that kind of are the glue that hold this program together.
And really from a state standpoint, this program, it really gives it legitimacy. It's not just an outside consultant coming in or an outside business and selling education to our schools.
No, McFarland's a great school district, and what it does is that through their work, kids across the state that don't have these opportunities locally can enroll in this program through the open enrollment process.
And so is this any high school student in the state of Wisconsin attending a public school?
Yeah, anyone that doesn't have this type of program in their schooling, and some do, but across the state, especially our small rural schools, don't have some opportunities, and this gives high school kids an opportunity.
Yeah, and what we've learned on today's show, it's a great opportunity that otherwise wouldn't exist for a lot of students out there. And how do these online courses actually work? If I'm a parent out there of a student who wants to enroll in the course, I mean, how do I go about that?
Yeah, it's quite simple. All they have to do is go to their local high school office where the student normally goes and ask them or the guidance counselor how they can enroll in this course, and then they can enroll and engage in this opportunity. It's a good opportunity for kids. We have to give kids as many chances as we can as far as exploring careers, and this is one of them.
Yeah, and from what we learned on today's show, even the parents that went to the school, even if the school doesn't know, it's relatively easy to get in touch with people to learn more about it and see the opportunity that exists nowadays.
Yeah, open enrollment program in Wisconsin is long-term. We've had it. And so the guidance counselors and the principals in each of the schools across the state should have this information.
Do you think it's important from the state standpoint that schools look at new ways of teaching our children through this technology, yet still be able to provide them, you know, the social experiences that come along with attending a public school and being in the classroom?
Yeah, absolutely. A student could take a course like this, an online course, but still be part of the high school and, you know, all the things that go along with, you know, their regular classroom things. They can go out for football if they want to. They can be members of the debate team at their local high schools and be local high school students. This just gives them one more option to learn about a career and actually get into a pre-apprenticeship program.
Well, it certainly makes sense to me. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your side.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
For more information on Building Wisconsin, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and be sure to watch additional episodes on YouTube or at our website, buildingwisconsintv.com. The preceding program was sponsored by the Building Wisconsin Television Network.